Following the success of Elvis, the next big biopic of 2022 would be the highly anticipated semi-fictional take on Marilyn Monroe's life, Blonde, releasing on Netflix on September 28. While the biopic genre has ruled Hollywood for decades, even managing to be awards bait for Oscars, it is one of the best examples of the hit-or-miss formula. As these biopics show, adapting the turbulent life stories of famous personalities can be quite a Herculean task for filmmakers. Be it the big-budget flop Alexander or the Lindsay Lohan TV film Liz Dick, recent decades have given way to some disastrous biopics that get flack for factual inaccuracies, hammy acting, or just the sheer disrespect that it brings to the central figures in the narrative. I Saw the Light 2015 5.7 stream on stars Tom Hiddleston's most popular role is, of course, that of Loki in the MCU movies. But one of the British actor's non-Marvel misfires turned out to be the Hank Williams biopic I Saw the Light. Hiddleston is joined by equally talented cast members, such as Elizabeth Olsen, Bradley Whitford, and Cherry Jones, but nothing could have saved this formulaic biopic of the country and blues legend. In fact, as The Boot reports, the late Hank Williams' own grandson, Hank Williams III, criticized Hiddleston's portrayal, particularly his singing skills. Alexander 2004 5.6 rent on Apple TV, Amazon, Google Play, Vudu. Though one of Colin Farrell's highest-grossing movies, Alexander is considered one of the movies with the most historical inaccuracies. Tracing the life of the Macedonian ruler and invader Alexander the Great, the movie is riddled with stereotypical depictions of Persian and Indian armies, among other criticisms noted by historians. Even though the best Oliver Stone movies have included some fine biopics, like Born on the 4th of July and Nixon, Alexander wasted a budget of $155 million via Box Office Mojo, and an ensemble cast led by Farrell. However, in Stone's defense, the movie's director's cut was somewhat more well-received by audiences. Diana 2013 5.5 stream on AMC Plus. Her troubled marriage with Prince Charles, her eventual divorce, and her untimely death have fascinated several movies on Princess Diana's life. With Naomi Watts essaying the titular role, Diana is set in the backdrop of her final years, as she starts dating Dodi Al-Fayed while battling media attention on her departure from the royal family. For many who panned the biopic, they felt that what could have been a beautifully tragic story turned into a bland excuse to capitalize on her death. Thankfully, the princess has had some better received portrayals, such as that of Emma Corrin in The Crown Season 4 and Kristen Stewart in Spencer. Nina 2016 5.4 rent on Apple TV, Amazon, Google Play, Vudu. Feeling good singer Nina Simone has been a revolutionary singer, pianist and activist. So, naturally she deserved a biopic long back. In 2016, Zoe Saldana got the chance of a lifetime to play the jazz legend in a biopic that just came and went without raising any eyebrows. Nina opened to overwhelmingly bad reviews from critics and audiences alike. The IMDb rating seems gracious as compared to the Rotten Tomatoes critics' consensus of 2%. Dealing with her meteoric rise and eventual downfall and the turbulent relationship with her manager, Nina missed the mark to such an extent that Simone's own family and estate refused to endorse it, as reported by IndieWire. Stonewall 2015 5.3 stream on Amazon Prime Video. Roland Emmerich's disaster and action movies have always been larger than life and over the top and tailor-made for the box office. But it grabbed the attention of some when Emmerich decided to direct a movie on the Stonewall riots, with particular focus on the LGBTQIA+ activists who braved against the authorities in oppressive times. A coming-of-age story is also thrown in the mix as a young gay teenager witnesses the chaos unfurl in front of him. However, Stonewall turned out to be one of Emmerich's worst titles, with some Redditors considering it one of the worst biopics. Some found the script to be clunky, while others criticized the portrayal of real-life activists, such as Marsha P. Johnson and Bob Kohler, finding their depiction caricaturish or insensitive. Against the Ropes, 2004-5. 3 stream on HBO Max. Meg Ryan was once America's sweetheart with rom-coms, ranging from Sleepless in Seattle to When Harry Met Sally. Then came a period of duds like Against the Ropes. The biopic's muse is interesting, with Ryan playing Jackie Collin, one of the first female boxing managers to have tasted success. Omar Epps co-stars as a boxer represented by Collin. And then what follows is a premise borrowed from the pantheon of the best boxing movies. Against the Ropes was considered to be embarrassingly bad for its heavily derivative influences from the familiar underdog stories that are set in the boxing ring. Klimt 2006 5.1 stream on Vudu Tubi TV. Both old and new fans will recognize that John Malkovich is quite the auteur with his diverse character roles. The man excelled at even playing himself in being John Malkovich. But even his brilliance couldn't save the disastrous biopic of Gustav Klimt, the painter renowned for works like The Kiss and The Maiden. True to the art of the symbolist painter, Klimt boasts an aesthetic production design, but the underwhelming performances and the art house-style surrealist storyline contributed to the movie's downfall. After the 96-minute-long theatrical cut, even a director's cut of 130 minutes couldn't save the Austrian production. Stardust 2020 4.4 stream on Hulu. Johnny Flynn gave his all to play the Starman, but Stardust clearly lacked the oomph factor, making for a relatively unmemorable entry among the biopics of 2020. Instead of being a career retrospective, Stardust attempted to focus on David Bowie's abortive U.S. debut tour in 1971. His eccentric media image and troubled relationship with wife Angie forms the crux of the movie. Biopics that focus on particular eras in a singer's career can provide an intimate portrait of the person beyond the stage, like Nawahiri Boy, I Am Not There among others. Stardust, unfortunately, is not one of those biopics. Wired, 1989, 3.6 not available for streaming before Michael Chiklis acquired mainstream popularity in The Shield and the Fantastic Four movies. He made his screen debut in the John Belushi biopic Wired. Given Belushi's career was marked with his trademark improvisational and physical comedy, it is difficult for a newcomer to essay the comedian's mannerisms. Even though Chilkis gave his best, he didn't win any positive reviews. The movie further received particular criticism towards the way it showed Belushi's death due to a drug overdose. Fans of Belushi as well as the critics felt that Wired offered a one-sided perspective of showing him more as a drug addict than a comedian. Liz Dick 2012 3.9 stream on Tubi TV. High-profile celebs have had their share of troubled romantic relationships. One such toxic romance was shared between yesteryear actors Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, played by Lindsay Lohan and Grant Bowler in the TV movie Liz Dick. The movie failed to mark a resurge in Lohan's recent career, with critics mocking her performance as half-baked, some even equating her performance to that of an SNL skit. It's not just the miscasting that led to the negative reviews. Liz Dick was also criticized for being unintentionally laughable to an extent.